Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm glad you're here today. We're about to explore a really important topic. The title of our presentation is The 5 Brutal Truths About What Happens to a Woman After Divorce. We'll also look into how these truths affect her psychologically, emotionally, and sometimes spiritually. Over the next few minutes, I'll guide you through what really happens after divorce, things that often surprise people, challenge assumptions, and can even shake you to your core. So, let's dive in and understand what women go through when life takes this big turn. A good man is often a reflection of the good men around him. Conversely, a broken man usually belongs to a broken band. And suddenly, she sees clearly. She wasn't just married to a man, she was married to the culture that shaped him. She begins to realize that none of this was random. A man's character is rarely better than the integrity of his inner circle. It's in the behavior they excuse, the values they normalize, the way they talk about women, and even the jokes they make. After a divorce, many women start connecting the dots they once overlooked. You see, you can often tell everything about a man by who he surrounds himself with. The community he keeps gives you a clear window into his true character. After the divorce, I finally saw the pattern that I was too loyal to recognize while I was still inside the relationship. It's a powerful realization. You know, character is everything. It's like the wood beneath the polish. It's what truly holds everything together. And just like the sound of a guitar depends on its core, our character defines how we respond and how we behave, especially in tough times. Esther Perel often points out that infidelity, emotional withdrawal, or disrespect aren't just isolated events. They're patterns. And those patterns reveal something deeper. They tell us about someone's character. When I looked back, I realized those weren't just one-off incidents. They were signs, indicators of who he really was beneath the surface. And then it hit me. After I left, I replayed moments I once minimized. A lie, a small betrayal, a harmless secret, the little promises he broke. Those weren't just minor slips. They were manifestations of a pattern. That's when I understood his one mistake was never just one. It was part of a larger story about his character and how he navigated trust and respect. And recognizing that changed everything for me. She becomes rare, and what is rare becomes valuable. When she's more selective, the wrong men tend to disappear and the right ones stay. This shift isn't just about dating, it's about valuing herself more deeply. When she stops rushing into intimacy, something profound happens. Slowing down protects her heart, allowing her to truly feel and recognize what's genuine. Consistency then exposes the truth, what's real and what's not. Patience reveals character because it gives time for true intentions to surface. A woman who once gave herself generously now slows down, and through this process, she learns that intimacy isn't just physical. It's symbolic. It's the ultimate truth-teller of intention. Why is that? Because when she takes her time, she finally understands something she might have overlooked for years. After divorce, many women become more selective, not less. And here's the shocking part. By redefining intimacy and valuing herself, she unlocks a new power. She recognizes her worth, and that makes her more attractive, more authentic, and ultimately more fulfilled. This is about reclaiming her value and understanding that true intimacy is rooted in authenticity and genuine connection. Because a woman who has experienced emotional ambiguity in a marriage, she becomes allergic to it afterward. Mixed signals no longer excite her, they exhaust her, and she walks away quickly. If he respects you, his actions will prove it long before his words do. If he's serious, you won't have to chase clarity. If he wants you, he won't make you decode him. After divorce, she learns that confusion used to feel like passion. Now it feels like danger. She no longer negotiates with confusion. And one of the biggest psychological shifts after divorce is this. She will never again entertain a man who confuses her. This is a crucial concept because it highlights how her boundaries and perceptions shift after experiencing emotional ambiguity. It's about recognizing real respect through actions, not just words, and understanding that clarity is a sign of genuine interest. This shift is part of her healing and growth, and it shapes how she approaches future relationships. So here's the thing, If his actions don't align with what he's saying, she will emotionally disconnect, permanently. It's that simple. Words, no matter how sweet or convincing, are the cheapest currency a man can offer. They're easy to say, but they don't hold much weight if there's no effort behind them. Because effort, that's the real investment. That's what shows she's truly valued. And as women, we learn to watch effort. We observe consistency over time. We notice follow-through, whether or not a man is truly committed to change. We become students of behavior, not just promises. When the words stop matching the actions, trust starts to erode. After a divorce, women tend to stop believing in words altogether. Because at that point, words lose their power. What matters now is what he does, not what he says. And here's the part that often shocks men the most. We are watching a man's actions, not his apologies. It's great if he says he's sorry, but what really matters is whether he's actually making the effort to change, to be consistent, to follow through. That's what rebuilds trust or destroys it. So, what really happens to a woman after divorce? Well, she becomes a woman who no longer hopes that a man will change for the better. Instead, she learns to recognize and choose the man who already is the person she deserves. Divorce doesn't destroy her, it rewires her. It sharpens her emotional intelligence, making her more aware and more resilient. She gains a stronger sense of self-respect and becomes less tolerant of the things that once broke her heart or held her back. In many ways, she transforms into a version of herself she might have wished to be earlier, more confident and true to her values. This is the truth that often goes unspoken, but it's a powerful part of her journey. After going through a divorce, I finally learned to hear the difference. It's like tuning into a new level of understanding about relationships and myself. Men are like guitars. Some are beautifully crafted, with qualities that truly resonate and bring harmony. Others, unfortunately, are more like cheap imitations, lacking depth or authenticity. And then there are those who will never produce harmony, no matter how often you try to tune them. This highlights the importance of recognizing what's genuine and what's not, both in relationships and in ourselves. This final reflection ties into the overall theme of the presentation, learning to identify what truly adds value to our lives. Just like tuning a guitar, we need to tune our perceptions, expectations, and boundaries. It's about understanding that not every connection is meant to produce harmony, and that's okay. The key is learning to hear the difference, so we can focus on what truly enriches us. And that transformation, painful as it is, becomes the beginning of her emotional freedom. What I want to emphasize here is that true growth often comes through struggle and discomfort. It's in those moments of difficulty that we're pushed to confront our deepest fears and vulnerabilities. And surprisingly, that process, while challenging, lays the foundation for genuine liberation. This is a powerful reminder that even when change feels overwhelming, it can unlock a new sense of self and peace. So, as we've seen throughout this presentation, embracing transformation, even the painful parts, can lead us to a more authentic and free emotional state.